We recently started a series of videos where I will explain to you step by step how to knit a raglan sweater from top down. And what you see here, you will need a few stitch markers. You don't have to buy them. A little loop of yarn is sufficient. I'm working with a microfiber yarn, Omega Plus by Lang Yarns, and it has a yardage of, a metrage, not a yardage, of 75 meters per 50 gram. So if you choose a yarn with a similar yardage, you can just knit along with us. We are working on a men's sweater in size, that's a European size, 52-54, but it's for a chest circumference of 104 centimeters. There will be size charts and raglan charts during this project published. And first we start with a cast on of 96 stitches and with a division of 34 place a stitch marker and 14 place a stitch marker and 34 stitch marker and 14 again. So the 14 stitches for the shoulders and the 34 for the front side and for the back side. And at the end, the last stitch marker, take a different color, use a different color, so that marks the end of the round. Yes, I'm working with a needle size 5 millimeters. So 96 stitches cast on. And we will work a very, very simple sweater with a rolling cuff. On top we start with a rolling cuff in stockinette stitch, and we will continue with a very tiny cable stripe alongside the raglan slants. And to make our first sweater as easy as possible, we won't distinguish between the back and the front neckline. We work them equally. Actually, the markers are not necessary yet, but we use them anyway, all ready for exercising the handling of the markers. So now put this to the round and we will work sort of magic loop. So slide the stitches to the other end of the needle. So I already see that the cord of this pair of needles is not thin enough, so probably I will change needles later to my favorite signature needle arts. Okay, so now start knitting in the round and work 10 or 12 rounds of knit stitches. So that's for the rolling cuff, so that you don't need to sew anything afterwards. We try to avoid any sewing. And to handle the stitch markers, you just put them from the left needle to the right needle. Just slip them from left to right. That's all. Nothing else to do with the stitch markers. As I've told you, you don't need them yet, but it's not bad to practice. So I continue with the golden needles. No, I have not been awarded the golden needles, but the size 5 millimeters of my signature needles has a golden color. and you work with the magic loop, as you see here. Whenever you are out of stitches, you pull out the cord on the opposite side and just continue knitting. And when you are run out of stitches again, then you again pull out the cord again on the opposite side of the needles. Now just continue with your stockinette stitch, just knit stitches for 10 or 12 rounds. So you see nothing special here. And after some increases, you don't need the magic loop anymore. And as usual, when working in rounds, you may as well work with 2 circular needles. Maybe that's easier for you. There is some recent sock knitting videos, where I show you how to work with 2 circular needles in the round. So I jumped right in with this video for all of you who want to start right away. And there will be a second needle where I show you the increases. So here you see we have our rolling cuff, and for reassurance we measure it again. So we planned 56 centimeters for the cuff, for the neckline, the circumference, and we have 55 centimeters here, so that's perfect. And the head will fit through it perfectly. And in our third video, I will explain to you how to calculate the Raglan sweater.